The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Live Oaks Golf Club and Roosevelt's at Live Oaks. Whether you're in the mood for a hot lunch or you want to go play a quick 18 with a cold beer, the only choice is Live Oaks Golf Club and Roosevelt at Live Oaks on Highway 49 North.
Steve Robertson on the Out of Bounds Show. Ty Cooper signed out of Louisville, Mississippi. They want it. He's a D lineman, considered one of the best defensive linemen in the state. A lot of people are wondering why he isn't rated higher, but what happened with his recruitment the last couple of months?
Well, I'll agree with the fact that he should be rated a little bit higher. Of course, it's one of those things, as it appears that State's going to win the battle with Ole Miss. Of course, you have State people like, oh, yeah, well, he should be rated higher. When they thought he was going to Ole Miss, you're like, oh, yeah, he's overrated. I mean, it's funny how it's funny how that works, and it's on both sides of any rivalry, really. But, there was a lot of talk the day that Mississippi State offered that Ty Cooper might go ahead and commit. I mean, there was, matter of fact, Paul Jones and I had kind of traded some texts. I said, hey, I'm hearing that Ty's going to talk with his dad. This thing might happen today. Well, then ultimately they get home and say, well, we're going to sit down as a family and discuss this. Well, then Ole Miss offers, and Deke gets in there and does a great job and kind of keeps things, back and forth. And I really believe if Deke Adams hadn't been at Ole Miss, that Ty Cooper would have committed to Mississippi State long before. And I asked Ty, in the last interview I did with him before signing that, so was there ever a point when you nearly committed to any school? And he goes, yeah, and he didn't want to talk about it, but he said, yeah, there was at least 2 times that I really thought about committing and kind of getting this thing over with. But ultimately, he says he wanted to be at Mississippi State. He wanted to be a Mississippi State Bulldog. And I really think once Deke was dismissed at Ole Miss, it removed all doubt. I think State would have got him anyway, but Deke made it awfully interesting. But it was really kind of a no contest down the stretch. I mean, Ole Miss had other needs and other targets. But, it's one of those things, too. A lot of people get caught up in, well, on signing day, what were his options? Okay, that's cool. Well, at some point, somebody put a stamp on an envelope and mailed an offer to this kid throughout the process. And you don't offer anybody you're not willing to take at some point. And so that people get hung up on that. At some point, Ole Miss really wanted Ty Cooper. In the end, they probably didn't. But at some point, he could have committed to Ole Miss, and I'm sure had been happy and had a good career there. But ultimately, Mississippi State was in his heart, and so he became a Mississippi State Bulldog.
25 minutes up the road, Ty Cooper signs with MSU.